Good morning, everyone. Thank you for all the grammar work you sent me so far. It's great to see everyone learning and mastering new skills even during our time away from school. Don't forget, you can also master your spelling skills. Now, you just need to ask for a login for Spelling Frame, and you can either email the Year 2 email or the English email address. A big well done to Karu, Walid, Amy, and Joseph, who are all in the top 10 for the whole school. Imagine if we could get the whole top 10 full of Year 2 children. Go Team Year 2! I will set you a spelling challenge at the end of this video, so make sure you keep watching until the end. For today's learning, you will need the document Sentence Type. Pause now to download the document you need. You will also need a date and LI. Today is Wednesday the 17th of June and the LI is I understand different sentence types. Pause now to write your date and LI. So, what do we mean when we talk about different sentence types? Well, let's explain. And remember to pay attention because I will be challenging you to explain them back to me in a minute. Now, I'm sure you remember the four main sentence types. We have statements, questions, commands, and exclamations. They do have something in common. They all start with a capital letter, and they all end with a piece of punctuation. But we use the sentences for different purposes. Let's start with a statement. Now, a statement tells you something. That's the simplest explanation. It can be a piece of information or something that's happened. You could say a statement like, the boy is happy. You could use a statement like, the girl skips in the playground. These tell us something or give us a piece of information. They always start with a capital letter and they always end with a full stop. Now, a question sounds simple, but it asks a question. It's quite easy to spot a question because they normally start with a question word like when, what, where, why, or how, and they always end with a question mark. And a question always needs an answer. Now, a command that tells the reader what to do, and there's been quite a few commands already in this video. It can be something like pick up your pencil or write your date and LI. These are both commands. They tell the reader what to do. Now, normally they have a full stop, but if they are urgent commands, like run away from the exploding volcano, then you need to use an exclamation mark. Which brings us nicely onto our last one, exclamations. What are exclamations? Well, they're a special type of statement that tell us something shocking or surprising. We normally practice them by using the what a it is structure. What a good hat that is. What tasty sandwiches they are. Because of how we write them, they're quite easy to spot, and they always end in an exclamation mark. Okay, so are you ready for your warm-up challenge? Pause now to get your sentence type sheet ready, and I'll explain the next challenge. Okay, let's look at the warm-up challenge together. So here we have to match the sentence type to the definition. So we have the four sentence types here: statement, question, command, and exclamation. And we have four definitions. Tells us something shocking or surprising, tells us what to do, asks us a question, or tells us something. So which one of these is a statement? Or does a statement tell us something shocking or surprising? No, I don't think it does. Because it tells us what to do. Statement, the boy is happy. That's not telling us what to do. Does it ask us a question? The boy is happy. No. Does it tell us something? The boy is happy. Why, yes, it does. Okay, so I'm going to join statement and tells us something. You can obviously do this by hand. I'm going to do it on the computer to show you. There we go. So this is the first part of the warm-up challenge. And there's another part for you to do as well, and we'll check it all together afterwards. Match the sentence type to the punctuation. So again, we have the four sentence types here: statement, question, command, exclamation. And we have uses an exclamation mark, uses a full stop or an exclamation mark, uses a question mark, uses a full stop. Well, a statement, I know that always has a full stop, so join those two up. There we go. Now it's your turn. Complete the two warm-up activities, and we will check them together in just a moment. Okay, so I've completed my warm-up challenge. Let's have a check of our work together, shall we? So we already said a statement tells us something. I've made them color-coded so it's easy for you to follow. A question, red, asks us a question. It's quite simple, really. Sometimes things can be too simple and we think too hard and try and make them more complicated than they are. But a question asks us a question. Command tells us what to do. And an exclamation, well, that tells us something shocking or surprising. Now let's look at the punctuation. A statement uses a full stop. A question uses a question mark. That's why we call it a question mark. A command, that uses a full stop or an exclamation mark. Remember, it depends how urgent the command is. Take your shoes off is not an urgent command. If your shoes are on fire, it is. So you would use an exclamation mark in that situation. Remember, it depends how urgent the command is. And an exclamation, the clue's in the name, always uses an exclamation mark. Right, make sure you've got these two things correct, because they will be very helpful for the next activity, which I will explain to you in just a moment. Okay, now it's time for our main challenge, and this is the first part. There's going to be 2 parts today. So, we have to identify the sentence type, and we have to tick one of the answers. The boy is running. Now, let's look at the punctuation first. It's a full stop, so we know it can't be a question, can't be an exclamation. Is it command? Is it telling us what to do? The boy is running? Well, no, otherwise it would just say, do running. That's a command. So it must be telling us something. That makes it a statement. What a funny hat that is. Oh, hang on, what a, that is, I know that's an exclamation. It's got an exclamation mark. Okay, so I've done the first 2. Now I'd like you to do the rest on your own, and we will check your work in just a moment. Okay, now it's time for us to check our work. The boy is running. Well, we already checked that one. We know that one is a statement. And what a funny hat that is. We know that's an exclamation already. Do you know the way to the zoo? Well, it's a question, isn't it? It has a question mark and it's asking us a question. Tie up your shoelaces. It's telling us what to do. And it has a full stop. That means it's a command, but it's not an urgent command. What a warm day it is. Well, we know that what a it is definitely an exclamation, and in fact we have an exclamation mark just to make sure. How do you bake a cake? Well, I'm asking a question, aren't I? And it has a question mark, so we know it's definitely a question. Don't touch the hot oven. Well, it has an exclamation mark, but it doesn't go what a If it was what a hot oven it is, that would be an exclamation. This is telling us what not to do. That's a command. It's telling us not to do something. One day there lived a spooky ghost. Sounds like a great start to a story, and it sounds like a statement to me. Don't forget your hat, scarf, and gloves. That's telling us what to do, so that's a command. Even if it starts with a don't, it's still a command. It's telling us to not do something in this case. I would like an ice cream. Well, that's a statement. That's telling us something. Do you know where you left your hat, scarf, and gloves? It's got commas in a list, and it's also a question. I'm sure you did really well with that challenge. Pause now And in a minute, we're going to do a bonus challenge. Okay, let's have a look at the bonus challenge. The bonus challenge is to punctuate these sentences with a full stop, question mark, or an exclamation mark. So for this challenge, we have to read the sentence, work out the sentence type, and then put the right punctuation in. Okay, we're going to need our warm-up challenge to help us, aren't we? Right, let's do the first couple together, and then you can do the rest on your own. Do you know where I left my hat, scarf, and gloves? Well, it's not giving us information, is it? It's not saying I left my hat, scarf, and gloves somewhere. It's not an exclamation, and it's not command. So I think it's a question, and a question uses a question mark. Let's move my head for a minute. Okay, I'm going to draw a question mark. It's good to practice drawing them. Give me back my hat, scarf, and gloves right now. That sounds like telling someone what to do. It's a command, isn't it? Is it urgent or not urgent? What do you think? I think the right now means it's urgent, so I'm going to put an exclamation mark. Okay, so that's the first couple done. So I knew this was a question, I gave it a question mark. I worked out that this one was a command, and I gave it an exclamation mark because I thought it was an urgent command. What I'd like you to do is read the rest of the sentences, work out what type of sentence it is, and then add the right punctuation, and we will check our work together in just a moment. Okay, let's check our work together. Now, we looked at the first two sentences already, so let's move on to this one. I would like my hat, scarf, and gloves back. Okay, that's a statement. It's giving a piece of information. It's telling us something, so we're going to use a full stop. The gorilla stole my hat, scarf, and gloves. Again, it's a statement, so we need a full stop. Would you like a banana, Mr. Gorilla? That's a question, so it needs a question mark. When the gorilla wasn't looking, I grabbed my hat, scarf, and gloves. It's a statement, tells us something, and it needs a full stop. What a cheeky gorilla he was. Well, that's an exclamation. It needs an exclamation mark. I am never wearing a hat, scarf, and gloves to the zoo again. That's a statement. It tells us something and needs a full stop. Tell everyone not to wear a hat, scarf, and gloves to the zoo. Full stop. This is actually a command, but I don't think it's urgent. It's not like the command here. Give me my hat, scarf, and gloves right now. That's urgent. It needs to be responded to immediately, whereas this one is just a general command. Okay. How did you do on the bonus challenge? I'm sure you all did great. I'm sure you've all done really well today, and you're feeling really confident with sentence types. Now stay tuned, because what's coming up next is the spelling challenge. Okay, time for today's spelling challenge. So I've gone to spellingframe.co.uk. I'm going to log in. And let's log in. My student login. And my password. Login, lovely. I've got 266 points so far, but I haven't done any spelling this week. I'm not going to show you the leaderboard because that has people's second names, and remember, that's private information. So I'm going to go to my home. I'm going to go to year 2, and we are doing spelling rule 30 today. 30. 3 tens, 0 ones. Common exception words. Let's view the words, shall we? We have door, floor, pour, because, find, kind, mind, behind, children, wild, and money. Okay, so I know what to do. I've got these spelling words to practice. Now, let's click on play. Do you know what? I'm going to try the test.
Do you want the sentences read out loud?
Floor.
Okay.
Door. Money. Children. mind, wild, because, behind, kind,
And every time I get a word right, can you see I'm getting 10 more
find,
spelling points?
poor,
Okay, wow. I got 50 extra spelling points. Look, I got them all correct. So I got 160 points. Isn't that good? Right. I'm going to send this to my teacher. Oh, that's me. Print. And you get file here. Do you want to look at my file? Here we go. And these are my spelling results. And now you can send this file in an email to the school email address. And there's a reminder of that address coming up. Remember, you can send your spelling results as well as your normal English work too. And remember, our aim is we want the whole top 10 to be Year 2 children. We've got 4 out of 10 so far. Let's try and get 10 out of 10. Okay, that's all our learning for today. Have a great day and stay safe.